It says we are live.
Oh, hello.
I make no promises.
Are we live? Are people seeing us? Let's see if they see us. Hi, guys. Oh, you can see us. Hello.
Yep, there we go.
How's it going? How's everybody doing?
We got one response from each platform, so I think we're good.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All right. Amazing. Happy Tuesday. Not our normal day, but Sarah and I were like, there's not much happening yesterday. And I'm glad we held off a day because now we have
maybe there'll be
about.
a surprise tomorrow. And sure enough, there was. Wasn't
really
the surprise we were hoping for, but I mean, wasn't the
but it's
whole
something.
surprise we were hoping for.
I know. But it was something. So anyway, doing good. Okay. How's everybody in the chat room today on a Tuesday? Things have finally cooled down here, Amos. It's in the 70s today. So very
our high today was 39.
Oh, wow.
We still don't have any snow though. We're 2 days late on our snow. Like we should have snow by now. We don't have any. Anchorage got some, but we haven't.
I was going to ask, like, where's the snow? Did it happen yet? So it is late. Okay.
Yeah.
Really, it comes this early in October.
Yeah, we've never made it through the second weekend without snow until this year. Second weekend of October.
Wow.
I did. I don't think I put them anywhere that you would see them actually.
Yeah.
I went and I caught
47 in Kentucky. Oh, you already put lights up. Ooh.
No. I caught the lights.
You mean you caught the Aurora?
Yeah.
I saw people even in like somebody. I thought I saw somebody say they saw it in Arizona. I'm like, wait a minute, then I should have seen it, but I didn't go out.
No, you wouldn't have seen it. You're too much light pollution where you are.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Because people were seeing it down like south of Dallas and things like that. Like, so there, I just dropped some in the Discord, in our Discord chat.
Oh my God. You took those pictures?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, that was me.
That's amazing. Well, I can pretend I saw them through you because these are your pictures and I know you. Oh my God, these are gorgeous. You should share these with the chat. Oh my God, this is so gorgeous. I could only wish to see all that. Oh my God. How long could you see this? I mean, is there like a time? Because I feel like we were just talking about this and now we're talking about it again, you know?
So season starts in mid-August is when you can start seeing them, and it lasts until April.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then it's on an 11-day cycle, so every 11 days you have a better chance of getting good aurora. And then that 11-day cycle is also on an 11-year cycle, and we're hitting solar maximum. We're hitting into solar maximum right now.
Okay.
Which is the peak of that 11-year cycle. So right now is like, that's why you're hearing about it a lot and everything else is because there's so much activity going on.
Okay. It's gorgeous. Where can people in Seattle see this?
Too much light pollution.
Or is that
leave the city?
Okay. Wow, this is so pretty. It's so pretty.
Let's see. I don't know why it won't open all at the same time.
59 in Lincoln, Nebraska. 47 in Kentucky. It is currently 75 degrees in the valley of Los Angeles, California.
And for anybody asking, we are currently waiting for Sarah. She just got done with DTNS, so she needs a minute to, do between show things.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
For
I'm going to show
real?
you some auroras.
Yeah, please show them. I'm going to close my door here real quick.
So this was
That's
the
so
lights were mostly
gorgeous.
right above us and just a little south of us.
Oh, uh-huh.
So this is one of the first pictures I took. The reds are not as common. Usually you get more greens and blues,
Okay.
purples sometimes, and then when you get the reds, it's pretty rare.
So cool. I see 55 in DC metro area. Cool.
And then I'm trying to juggle my windows here. See, that's that one.
Well, yeah, wait till you guys see the other photos. They're just so gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, you did. You saw the Northern Lights last week at DC metro area. Wow. Okay, so some people are seeing it in cities.
And these are all on a like I get into the this is one of my favorites. I like how the road mirrors the lights. They're both kind of going off to the side over there.
So nice. Wow.
So for any
South of
photography geeks out there,
England.
this is on a EOS R5 5-second exposure at with a f2.8 on a 15 to 35 L lens. And I don't remember what my ISO was. I think I capped it at 4,000 ISO, but I'm not sure of that. It might have been.
Do the
6,000.
colors move?
Yes.
See a spawn. Okay.
Yeah. So one of the problems with getting pictures of the lights like this right here, when I actually took the picture, it didn't look as wavy as it does here. It looked more solid, but because it's a 5-second exposure and the lights move and they flicker in and out, that's why you get like the different looking, like how it's looks shaky almost. And then the next question people like to ask is, are they as bright in real life as they are in the pictures? No. Cameras pick up the lights better than we do. However, all of these were visible with the naked eye. They're more enhanced with the camera.
And you did, yeah. This is all raw. Your photos raw.
I've done a little bit editing, but
Okay.
not a lot.
Yeah.
Like this one that I'm showing right now. There's actually a cabin down here that sheds a bunch of light, and
Okay.
I darkened that area down because the cabin would distracts from the picture. But I haven't done too much editing because I don't like editing photos.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's too tedious. So those are the 5 that I captured over. Well, it was last Thursday. So.
Wow. And you could still see him tonight, if you looked out?
Saw him last night.
Okay.
But faintly. Yeah.
But last week, that Thursday night was really strong.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
So The scale the scale they use to tell you like how strong they're going to be goes
Mhm.
from 1 to 8 or 1 to 9, and these were an 8.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a bunch of math and everything else that goes into when you should go out. C-Spawn says, "Are there sounds?" My daughter has heard the sounds. I have not, but
There are sounds. Okay.
yeah, you can actually hear them crackle.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty rare to hear them crackle.
Okay.
But yeah, she heard them last time we had a big storm. I was not able to go out that night because I had the littles, so I wasn't able to scoot out. And then the night that I went out, everybody and their brother was going out, so there's too much traffic noise to be able to hear them. And then the wind picked up as people started leaving. People start giving up around midnight. That's the latest they can stay out during the week.
Yeah.
And most of those pictures were taken between probably 11:30 and 1:30 in the morning. So yeah, the people started driving away. So I was really hopeful to be able to hear the crackle, but then the wind picked up and you can't hear anything with the wind. So. Nethead says the iPhone 15 Pro Max picked up more lights than the human eye. Yes, the sensors will always pick up more than what we can see. So.
Oh, they're so pretty looking. Oh, so nice.
Yeah, one thing that some people will capture, I haven't been able to capture it yet, but the actual movement of the Aurora, as you know, as you're seeing it, because it does bounce around. I like to call it a ribbon because it's like, you know, the ribbon dancers where they're waving it around and stuff like that, and it kind of stays in place, but it still moves a little bit while they're pulling through the air. It's kind of like that, and it's cool to see the movement, but it's hard to capture the movement. And then when you're trying to capture a still photo, if they're moving a lot, that makes it harder, makes it look more blurry than it really is.
Yeah.
So
I see. But it's not too fast, or is it depending?
It really
the
depends.
movement? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it really depends. Sometimes it looks like it's just stable in the sky, and then sometimes it looks like it's literally bouncing around like little fairy, fairy flames dancing. So, yep, it's pretty cool. I recommend everybody see it at least once. And don't see it as a glow on the horizon. Like actually be able to look up and see the ribbons. It's pretty phenomenal. We get the horizontal glow that a lot of people will say, "Oh, I got to see the lights." You did. However, you got to see like the most basic level of them.
Yeah.
And there's so much more to see. It's harder.
Wow.
We'll get the glow most nights throughout the winter here. As long as there's clear skies, you can pretty much look over and see the glow towards the north. But to see the ribbon and the lights and things like that, it's pretty crazy.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing. It looked amazing. Yeah. So good.
My daughter and her fiance take pictures with their phones, and they're really good at it. I take pictures with my phone, and it looks like crap.
Oh, really? What's her secret?
I don't know. Jason is even better than Amber is, but I don't know. They were both out there with me the other night, and like I was trying to figure out like what is he doing? That's like he's just using the basic phone app. He doesn't have the most recent phone. And his photos come out amazing. I don't know if he's just really steady-handed and he's not shaking a lot or what. I don't know. But it's way better than mine. The pictures that I took were all on a tripod with a SLR camera, so a mirrorless camera.
Yeah. Well, so people just have our naturals,
I suppose so.
There's always
Maybe he's the one that needs the iPhone Pro with the special capturing ability and everything else. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. Sorry. I had to take Woody out really quick.
Yeah. No worries. Yep. We're just looking at Aurora lights and chilling.
I saw that briefly. I mean, so many of my friends who, I don't know, I guess live in that region sent me their versions, but yours are really nice, Amos.
Thank you. Hoping to get some more since, again, we're going into solar maximum this winter. So as long as I get clear skies, I'll be out there shooting.
That sounds fun. Well, here we are.
I know, on a Tuesday.
I know. So yeah, we can roll whenever.
Okay.
We are Sarah's not cold. She's been on.
I was gonna say we're all warmed up, so I'll disappear, and Sarah, you can count everybody in.
Oh
wait, no, I gotta swap sides, or do I swap? No, I put Sarah over there. Yeah, there we go.
Put me wherever.
My OCD is sometimes unmanageable, even for me. So, all right, I'll disappear, and there he is. I'll disappear, and you can count stuff in.
Okay. All right, let's do this. Hello, everybody. In 3, 2. Wow.
Was that
Oh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Apple Vision Show episode 37. Eileen Rivera, how the heck are you?
I'm living large, just hanging with a pup and a broken toe. It's all good.
Pup and a broken toe, and also, he got a snip.
Got a snip. Yep. He will not have puppies, not contribute. So, double whammy. And he's been wearing a cone for 17 days. No, I mean, we give him breaks and stuff, but like every night he's got to wear a cone.
And how long does the toe have to be wrapped up?
6 weeks.
And we're in what, like 1 weekend type thing?
No, we're in week 3. But
okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Poor kid. I actually thought my mom weirdly broke her toe a few weeks ago. Yeah, I mean,
oh my God,
as if we didn't have other things to worry about. But yeah, she was like, yeah. I was like, how did you break it? And she's like, I don't know. I was just walking. Like, okay. And I was like, it seems like you probably stubbed it, or otherwise. But then the other day, because the weather has been like nice around here lately, and so I'm outside, wearing flip flops, walking the dog, and I hit my toe on something. Don't even really know what it was, and it's sort of like, I don't know, it might be broken. I think toes break pretty easily.
Yeah, but luckily, wait, like the pinky toe?
No, it's like the one just inside the pinky toe. I think that it's easy to something gets caught, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they heal pretty easily too. Now, if you're a dog, I don't know anything about that. But I think as a human, you kind of just take it easy, and the toe just sort of goes back to normal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping anyway.
Otherwise, you'll be bandaged up just like 7.
Yep.
But yeah, no, honestly, it is just bandaging up, and then it'll like heal. It just has to stay in place. So,
well, anyway. for everybody who is with us live and says, you usually do this on a Monday. We do. So yesterday was a holiday in the U.S. for some people, and we kind of felt like there might be some Apple news that comes out after the holiday. What if we just wait a day and then come on back and see what's the haps? And sure enough, we got a little news. We got a little news from Apple. Now, this is not the big Mac dump that I was hoping for, but what we did get was a new iPad mini announcement. Pre-orders open today. This was not a big to do. It was just a more or less just an announcement, that went out onto the blogs. We got a base model for $500. We've got new colors, Eileen. We got blue and purple.
Purple.
Yeah,
Love it.
interesting. The A17 Pro chip is also interesting because, this is a snappy chip. It's not in part of Apple's M series, but this would supposedly be, the best chip that a Mac Mini. I just want a Mac Mini so bad.
Yeah, you've got
iPad
Mac Mini
Mini,
on the brain.
the iPad Mini. Yeah, exactly. We got Wi-Fi 6E support, Bluetooth 5.3 support, 12 megapixel camera, Apple Pencil Pro support. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not much of a pencil user. I don't use Apple pencils at all, but I do have a pencil for my Remarkable tablet.
Okay.
And I love that thing. I mean, it really it's sort of next level as far as feeling and seeming like a pen or a pencil. But yeah, I wanted to ask you, Eileen, and by the way, the base model has 128 gigs storage. You can go up to 256. And there are cell models as well. I wanted to ask you, is there any tablet or situation where you feel like a pencil or something like the Apple Pencil is important to you?
I actually like writing now more than I used to. And so I use it for not journaling, but for sort of calendaring personal stuff or, and I also I use it with notes, Apple Notes. And I also, a big thing on Instagram, not that I've been doing it a lot, is carousel photos with text on it. And they like it when you have text, like handwritten text, not just like typed text. So that's
Who's
like
they?
a style.
Just like engagement,
The
type
social,
stuff?
the engagement. Yeah. That's something that is sort of
Interesting.
encouraged to try and do. So there is some uses for it in just simple ways for just people who aren't designers. And I don't know. I just feel like I actually use it sometimes. I am holding it right now to just kind of scroll on the iPad instead of using my fingers. I kind of just do this. Now I don't have the fancy, pencil, the new pencil, that can do, you click it and then you can kind of swipe to different tips and all of that stuff. I don't think I need that because I'm not a designer. But yeah, I tend to use it. I wanted to get one to see how I would use it. And now because I have one, I just use it as a way to, even turn the page or, yeah, I mean, I use like I said, I use, Good Notes, and that, is a place. Oh, also for my language learning too. I'm writing in Korean with it on here instead of using a notepad. So when I had classes,
they always say that if you, the more you like write out something, long form, the more you retain it in your brain. I think we're probably all different in that way, but I would imagine learning a language and, I don't know, is it kanji that Korean is based on? Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Hangul, but yeah, there is some kanji in there. But yeah, this is me. If you're looking on video, this is the calendar, the days of the week and the numbers written out in Hangul. And so I did that. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Show you.
I
did that with my pencil.
I would think.
And help me learn.
And that looks like looks really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was actually just thinking the other day, speaking of just, writing out things, longhand, I was like thinking, I have friends with little kids, so I guess I could ask my friends, but I'm like, do kids, between the ages of 5 and 10, learn cursive anymore? Is that something that even happens in school? Because you don't really need to do that. To know how to write something, a word, whether it's, you know, all in caps or
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. It's like, that's helpful, of course, but like, remember how much cursive used to be like a big deal? You know, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, did you do the I right? You know, and then you had people, you know, who, you know, I had friends who would like, they would dot all their I's with hearts, you know, or, you know, they would only use green pens or
Yeah.
whatever it was. That was
Yeah.
like a very big part of learning how to write
Yeah.
as a
I
kid.
think there's still cursive. I don't know. Honestly, I can ask my sister. Anybody in the chat now?
Amos
but
says yes, they still do it, and it's stupid. I mean, I don't know. I think it's probably not that important anymore. I don't know that I would call it stupid, but it just used to be such a big deal.
right.
And
You'd have
so
tests, you know, and they grade you on the
oh
curve
yeah,
and
like
all
how
that
good is
stuff.
your cursive? That kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, you really had to get it right. And so some of the pencils, you know, iPad and otherwise.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just sort of like, I wish I had a situation, maybe like the one that that you just showed us, Eileen. You know, learning Korean, where it is really important to retain information by sketching it out, you know, or maybe you know, like you said, journaling. Important to just kind of write something down so you kind of get it out. I think
Right.
that's very true. I also don't own a pen in my house. like a physical pen. I'm like, there might be a
Yeah.
pen in here. Actually, yeah, there is
Yeah.
a pen from my credit union. But
Okay.
but like I don't own a piece of paper. If someone was
Yeah.
like, "Hey Sarah, you know, draw me like a cute, I don't know, image of a dog," I'd be like, "Well, let me fire up the computer and
use your mouse like
yeah, right. I think we're all different. A lot of people are different in that way. I have friends who are very, very, you know, tech focused, you know, internet based, and they say, "Oh, I mean, I have to when I'm thinking of, you know, brain tree type stuff. I have to just sketch it out, you know, with my hand,
Yeah.
and that's how I figure out, you know,
Yeah.
the next step." So
Right.
anyway.
Yeah.
So going back to the iPad Mini. All right, so we got pencil support. That's going to make a lot of people happy. But Eileen, you and I talked before about the fact that I don't, you know, think that the iPad Mini is the right form factor for me. It's a little too small. It's too close to my large iPhone, and
Yeah.
and we got a lot of feedback from folks saying, no, I want that mini. So
Yeah.
so we hear you. The mini folks should be happy today, and we would love to hear more about, you know, what you like about these somewhat incremental, but still, you know, updates.
Right. Yeah. And I think like size matters to that customer base because I heard a lot about like I like to put it in my purse and you know there are my 11-inch iPad will not fit in some of my purses, you know. So I hear it. I hear that you know, some people just like a smaller form factor and they don't want the phone on it. They don't want like cellular. That was
Yeah.
another thing that I heard. It's like, no, don't put cellular on this. Don't, please. Make an option. It's
Well,
like, okay.
and that's another thing is like, because when so gosh, it wasn't an iPad. I did have a cellular plan on an iPad many years ago, but I'm not even using an iPad in any regular basis at this point. When I got my Apple Watch, I was like, yeah, let's try cellular. You know, let's see how this helps. And it did help in certain ways, but it didn't help to the point that I thought it was worth the money I was spending per month. You know, so I walked it back. But I think for iPads specifically, a lot of people, not everybody, of course, because this might be your like main computer, but a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't want to be super connected. I don't want someone to call me on this thing. You know, I want to use it for other productivity reasons. for just, I don't know, artistic reasons. Just, I don't want it to be like a big phone. And I get that. I get that.
I do like getting messages on my iPad. Like if I just, sometimes I'm sitting at a table and I don't have my phone near me, and then I'm using my iPad and I see a text message come in. I'm like, oh, cool. I can just answer it real quick. I don't know. It's nice to have that option. You don't have to have that option. You can turn it off, but I don't know. For some reason, I appreciate being able to like have access to iMessage on my laptop, my iPad, and my phone. So they can get a hold of me maybe, but Apple users only. I can't see any Android. So any group chats with Android, I don't see that on my iPad. Just only iPad users or iPhone users or Apple users, I guess would you say.
Apple users.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's all supposed to get better, right? It's all supposed to get better. I have plenty of chats currently, mostly on my laptop, my MacBook Air, with folks that have Android phones, and yeah. Speaking of that, we've got macOS Sequoia 15.1 Beta 7, which is now available, and kind of just it's sort of a bridge update before some of the big stuff for iOS 18.1, iPadOS 18.1, macOS Sequoia 15.1. So this is the beta. I haven't played around with this because I was too worried that it was going to brick my computer before I had to do another show earlier today. But I think my point about Android versus iPhone users, we're getting to a point where it's going to be easier to talk to each other. Now, like I said, I've got Android phone friends and we talk all the time and nothing bad happens. When you get into a group text, that's where things start to break down. Or when you try to send a photo or an emoji, that's where things don't always, work correctly. But I don't know. I would love to know out there if somebody really thinks this is that big a deal. Because I don't really think it's that big a deal. You sort of go like, oh, okay, green bubble, fine. You're on an Android phone, like who cares? Or an Android tablet or, an Android-based computer, like whatever it is. It doesn't, I feel like it's sort of a non-issue, and we've kind of built this up to be this like, iOS versus Android, who will fold first, and make it okay for people to talk to each other. Is it really that big a deal? Maybe it is.
I mean, I think it's a little annoying, to be honest with you, like not being able to, I hate it when the videos are not like, I could tell because like I've mentioned, my brother-in-law is the Android user. And then, even if my sister who has an iPhone sends the video in the group chat, it's all I can't see it. I'm like, I'll have to recommunicate and say, oh, I can't see this. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll upload again. It's very annoying because she wants to send me photos or videos of her girls. And she sends it to me like quite often. And there are a lot of times I'm like, I can't even, it's so pixelated. What is happening? I have no idea. Okay.
Maybe nobody sends me enough videos for me to be that annoyed. Yeah. I don't mean to diminish like the annoyance of all of it. I guess where I'm going is, the promise of RCS and everything that Apple has signed on to, is going to make things better. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just want it to be clear and easy to read and see. And I don't need all the bells and whistles, like the tap backs, like all that. That's fine. We don't need all of that. But we get it. But
it would be nice.
iPhone to iPhone. Yeah. iPhone to iPhone user. We definitely get them. It would be nice to share that with an Android user. So yeah, those are just little incremental things, but over time you're like, it's just, you just feel annoyed because it happens the amount of times that it happened over many years, that's why I feel like it's a big deal. Because we're like, well, we can't just fix it, you know? Let's all be on the same level.
It makes both parties look bad, right? Like, for example, this morning I was on a group text with a few of my friends that they all live, you know, far away from me, so we don't see each other that often. But, you know, we were reminiscing about like a really fun trip that we had some years ago, you know, like girls' trip. And, you know, there were lots of, you know, exclamation points and ha-has and, you know, hearts. And it's so easy because we're all on iPhones.
Right.
You know, like, and it doesn't mean that we couldn't say like ha-ha, you know, and just send that. Yeah. But there are a lot of things I think you take for granted when you're like, oh, it's just built into the system. And it's like, oh, that system doesn't work with this system though. Oh, okay. So we just can't like have as much fun.
Yeah. Well, Amos just says here too, there's real world implications because of his wife and work related group messages. So if it's a work thing and you're missing messages and, you know, that could be detrimental to business.
Oh, I mean, if you're missing messages, that's bad across the board.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So anyway, yeah, I still think it's annoying when things like that happen and it's not, you know, but we'll get there. I think we'll get there at some point. So
we'll get there. I'd love to say that Apple really wants that for, you know, the Android community. I don't think Apple cares all that much. Just kind of put it out there. Yeah. But yes, I think we're getting to more of a harmonious middle ground. Let's call it that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with that, what if we take a very short break? So, Eileen, we didn't talk about this last week, that Apple is apparently, you know, well, not even apparently, appearing to be shifting from the product release strategy that we've known and probably loved for quite some time now. You know, more of these, you know, like what we got today with the iPad mini.
Yeah.
Incremental updates. Doesn't have to be a big to-do. You know, it's not, you know, you don't all, you know, rush down to the spaceship, as I like to call it, in Cupertino for it. Or even, you know, something that is a pre-recorded live stream, just sort of like new stuff. And yeah. I think so. My feeling about this is we had a lot of people talk about the latest iPhone, the iPhone 16, you know, live stream, which was a live stream, even though it was pre-recorded. You know, a lot of people just being like, wasn't that, you know, it's not that good. I mean, listen, these are great phones. If you wanted to upgrade, of course you upgrade, right? But we had a conversation of like, you know, at what point does Apple stop doing this because people don't think it's that cool? You know, there's no like one more thing, you know, or just like some crazy update that no one expected. I don't think we're in that world anymore. And I'm not even talking about Apple. I'm talking about all companies. It's like everything gets leaked. Companies leak it themselves half the time. You know, we know from you know, just the like assembly line of everything. Like, okay, Apple's working on this kind of camera and, you know, it's going to probably happen in 2025. It's like, we all kind of know that. And so I think if you try to do like a flashy thing, then people end up being disappointed because they thought there was going to be something better. But it's like, you're a company doing what you're doing, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's your plan.
I mean, I feel like, you know, it's this conversation is important to the iPhone, right? Because we're already obviously not getting updates to iPads, even laptops like watches. I don't even know. Like it seems like you could really step away from, you know, the yearly, you know, dog and pony show, even with iPhones. And now I don't know what that means for, you know, stock prices or, you know, like, you know, we have this like amazing announcement coming, and then Apple, the business, gets a bump from that. But when you get the sort of disappointment factor, that kind of drags it down anyway. And there have been a little bit more negative articles, even though the phone is great, and even though there are tons of people who had 13s, 14s that are upgrading to the 16. The really tech evangelists are the ones that are, who champion this stuff all the time, that are like, and then we kind of expected it. So do you want that? It's almost like a gray versus, a gold star, right? So I also feel like technology has evolved so much that what we have now will last. It's a good thing that they're building these type of products now that we can have for multiple years instead of needing to upgrade every year. And it used to be because of battery life, but
I think that's the nail on the head of this is Apple needs to focus on, we're going to sell you something that you're going to have and love for years. Mm-hmm. If we want you to feel like you have to upgrade every year, you're not going to, and you're going to be like, it's not even that much of an upgrade, because it won't be. You know, it's like we've gotten to a saturation point with
exactly
with smartphones, where it's like, sure, we can think about different form factors, the foldables, and that kind of stuff. It's like, we're not like done. But we're kind of at that point where, all cars start to look the same after a while.
Yeah.
There may be a little difference here and there, but like they kind of all work the same because we've figured out aerodynamics. That's
for sure.
That's what I feel like with, specifically the iPhone. I mean, Apple for many years is, okay, it's, WWDC in June. We talk about what's coming, with the next software version, and that will be applied to the next hardware version that happens in September. The, iPhone announcement. I mean, they've been doing that for a long time. And yeah, I feel like we did get a lot of people just sort of being like, I mean, what's the fanfare for? And maybe it's time for Apple and other companies as well to be like, if there's no fanfare, it's just an update. That's what it is.
Yeah, and you could release a new phone, but do you need to have this like huge show for it? And
then I think it turns into, I mean, of course, the people who are working on the stuff day in and day out, it's like, marketing and PR pushes. How does that change if we don't, make it be like this huge deal? And that's, I don't know. I mean, I don't work there, but I think it's better for the folks who want to buy something to get a little bit of a different approach.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll ever do that because, they want to obviously capitalize and get you to upgrade, even if you don't need the upgrade, because it's faster, Sarah. It's better. It's bigger. It's bolder.
It's the best one we've ever made. Of course.
Ever made.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess there is just, at the end of the day, there is a bottom line. They do want to sell more phones than they did last year, which means tapping into the consumers that have, already a great phone to get another one, I think there's always going to be that sentiment in a business. But yeah, to me, like if they weren't going to trot out a foldable, if that's going to be next year, well, that should be the huge, that's the big event. Like, we're doing that. But and then you could just upgrade every year, but you could just do what you just did here. Just send a press release. And great. Those of you who want to get the iPad, those of you that want to get a new iPhone, go for it.
You wanted it anyway.
Yeah. We're not saying like you don't do it, but maybe you don't make it like this big announcement. But also like we said, technology is getting better. Do you need it?
There's also a part of me that is like, okay, so they announced the new iPad Mini 7, and people are stoked about that. I am not in the market for that, so I will be abstaining. But I'm like, all right, so what's the Big Mac event? Because
This is the one you've been waiting for. Yeah.
I get sucked into this stuff.
Yeah.
And I also, I talk
been
about
waiting.
it, for a living. So
Yeah.
But I'm like, do we have a Big Mac event? No, I think we know we're getting new Mac Minis, Mac Pro folks, there might be some surprises there. iMac, the iMac line and the Pro line as well. I don't know. We'll find out. I think Apple has something more up its sleeve, and
Okay.
I have no just a spidey sense.
Was this the indication because of the new iPad Mini? That's why you're getting the Spidey sense.
Because I'm like, okay, they've got something where it's like iPad Mini. Okay, like let's just like make these people happy, and then we'll do like the Big Mac announcement. That's what I'm thinking. But I also, I'm sort of a legacy person who, Yeah, I mean, as we talk about how Apple might be moving away from this exact kind of thing, I'm like, but let's make it crazy.
Well, I mean, we did have a big iPad announcement earlier this year. So a mini, like, I guess it wasn't ready for prime time or maybe they didn't want to, I don't know. Maybe the unit wasn't ready, or maybe they just wanted to separate it to give, hey, in this quarter we have this to announce, this quarter we have this, and this quarter we have this. There's many strategies and reasons why. So I pray for you, Sarah, that Mac Mini.
Thank you. Thank
happens,
you. I know. I'm like, I mean, at this point, it's like it's starting to become a joke where I'm like, where's my Mac Mini? Like I don't even necessarily need an M4. Just give me like an M something, which I could buy today. But I want to know. I want to know what my options are.
You might as well wait, though. You might as well wait because it's coming. It's coming. I know. Today you were like, it's gonna be. Yesterday we were talking. You're like, oh, there's gonna be the big. You know what? It's gonna be the big announcement. And then we're like, oh, it's the iPad Mini. How nice.
Well, and
thank you.
And I know. And again, some of you have written into us or talked to us on Discord or whatever, been like, no, people really like the Mini. I really like the Mini. I'm so excited about this, and I love this for you. I do. Like I'm not crapping on anything here, not at all. I just think there's a bigger announcement coming. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of announcements, Mark Gurman reports. Mark Gurman of Bloomberg, in his Power On newsletter, usually has a pretty good finger on the pulse, and tends to write his stuff up Sunday night, so everybody talks about it on Monday. This week was no different. Mm-hmm. The new rumor is that Apple may be working on a new more affordable version of the Apple Vision Pro. That would put it in the $2,000 range. Now you might say, that's insane. That's still really expensive. Yes, it is. But it's a lot less expensive than the $3,500 Apple Vision Pro. Mm-hmm. Now, the idea, and this stuff has been floating around for a while, but once Gurman reports on it, it has legs. Dialing back a little bit on the headset in general, the actual hardware in general, and eyesight display, for example, dialing back on that. Basically, Apple has to, if it introduces a cheaper version of the Apple Vision Pro, it has to dial back on hardware. That's just, I mean, there's no other way to do it. And I think that we're at the point now where somebody asked me the other day, they were like, what do you use your Vision Pro for? And I was like, oh, I love to watch a movie on the Vision Pro. But even then, it's like, I have to be in the mood, I don't use it in place of my television.
Right.
And I don't, I don't use it for work because I have a setup that already works. It's solving a problem that didn't really exist for me. Now, other people, mileage may vary, of course, but having something that's a little bit more affordable for developers, I think, is very interesting. Because I think even as a developer, you might have a good idea, but you don't have a big budget. And, buying something that's expensive that might not really be the way that your startup succeeds is, that's a choice you have to make. Going down to $2,000, still expensive, but maybe that opens things up a little bit, for folks who were curious, but not curious enough to plunk down all that money to see what's going on. Now, I still, because I am a MetaQuest fan, and a regular user, I still think that, the idea of using this to, work all day and having the absolute best display and, the best materials, that's very Apple. It's always been very Apple. But, maybe Apple has to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
To get people to just try it out, because I am the first person to tell you that I think VR, I thought VR was just that's just not for me. I'm just, nope, don't want it. And then the first time I tried it with the right app, again, and right app is key, I was like, this is so fun. I love this.
Yeah, the $2,000 price tag, I don't think it's going to be enough. I really don't. Let me see the unit though. Let me see the unit. Is it going to be lighter? What else can it do differently? But I don't think it's enough to get people to try it. They'd rather just plunk that money on a laptop or an iPad or, a phone instead. So it's got to be, it is a premium device. The Apple Vision Pro is a premium device. So you can think of that. If you think of it that way, then, okay, maybe this is a good discount of a price, but what's changing, and why would, who are they trying to capture besides more developers and more tech enthusiasts? That is a 15,000 or 1,500 price knockdown. I wish it was 15. Anyway, so
we'll pay you to try the Apple Vision Pro. Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be nice. Yeah. So what are they trying to do? Is this did they figure out, the $2,000 price could get the middle class? I don't know. And I just don't know. I actually don't think it's enough. But I think the vision that Meta had with the Ray-Bans, that's it. That's where you're going to get people to try this, So I'm not quite sure putting on the goggles, because I suspect it's going to look the same. It's just going to be a little bit different, maybe lighter. And then just people are like, okay, that's nice. Keep developing. Thanks. Let's go. Let's move on,
Yeah.
So,
I've always said that as much as I enjoy certain VR experiences, and I really do, what I'm looking at isn't super crisp. It's not like it's real life. This is, again, VR. So AR is kind of a different conversation. But the goal is you need small swimmer's goggles.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because if you're wearing the Ray-Bans, that's great, but you can't be super immersive because you're going to get light that's coming into your eyes type thing. And maybe that just turns into something where somebody just has a preference. I like open-toed shoes or closed-toed shoes. It just depends, it depends on who you're talking to type thing. I think that, the kind of clunky thing that you wear on your face right now it's a tough sell for a lot of people. Even for me, I take it off and I'm like, I look crazy for an hour because, it put indentations on my face type thing. And like, maybe we won't care about that after a certain amount of time. But I agree with you that it's going to be, well, I mean, I think eventually it's just going to be like, you put a contact in your eye and you can do all
that would
sorts
be
of things.
fantastic. Yeah.
Right. But something, the whole, and I've talked about this so much, and I've seen so many like YouTube videos of this, of people with the Apple Vision Pro specifically, out and about, where they're treated so weird because people think like, why are you wearing this? And you also can't see me. And they're like, I can see you. It's like, we're not, this is not ready for prime time. This is a developer product.
Yeah, 100%.
Through and through. And even if you're somebody like me where I'm like, I'm not developing an app right now, but I can definitely take advantage of like how cool it is in certain respects. That's great. But I'm like, developers, do more. And then I will enjoy more. And that's why people aren't buying it, because they don't know what to enjoy.
Yeah. There's not a clear-cut reason, because like you said, you have to be at a certain mindset to put it on to watch the movie. And, you have to kind of know, okay, I'm going to put the headset on and watch a movie or TV show. Whereas it's just easy to just turn on your TV without having to think about plugging, making sure it's charged, all that stuff.
And I've been wondering for a while, it's like, whether it's the Vision Pro or, what Meta's got going on. And I really think Meta is running away with this market right now. But, any company is like, it's like, do we have a market for people who are either on the go, maybe you're on a plane. I mean, some people are business travelers, they're traveling all the time, or you just like don't have a living room that is appropriate to like have a big TV where you can kind of sit back and, that sort of thing.
But then are you the person who can afford this if you don't have a living room?
Right. Yes. And that's where the question comes in. And also like, well, okay, that would be okay for you, but like, do you have a family? Like, like, I mean, people don't always have like big cavernous living rooms with huge TVs, mounted on the wall. I totally get that. This is cool. This is very cool as an alternative. It really is.
Yeah.
But also it's sort of like, how does that work into your lifestyle? Hard to say.
Right.
Depends on the person.
Yeah, it really does. And I think there is some place down the road many years from now that it'll make sense, but everybody's got to be doing it. If not, it's just, I don't know. That's a lot of money, $2,000 for something that you don't feel is a personal device and you don't want to take out of your house. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I mean, it is a personal device, but it's not like something that you could carry out in the world easily.
I think also, so for anybody who hasn't played around with a Vision Pro, I mean, it really is, it's remarkable how much you can do productivity wise. It is, I mean, you can wear it and just sort of use your computer, and that's interesting in and of itself. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think anybody will say, besides some novelty cool stuff, like, wow, this actually works on the Vision Pro. No one's like, and then I ditched my computer. We're not there.
No.
We're just not there. And
that's what you get,
and that's why I'm like, we're in development stage. As a developer, you're going to figure out what that killer app is that makes me say, I don't need my computer anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're just not there yet.
Yeah. People are doing it with the iPad, but that's
very much so.
Yeah. So that's where we got to get to,
Well, and that's kind of a funny comparison because there was, I mean, the iPad came out in 2010, the first iPad, and it was a little bit of like, whoa, like, I mean, remember like iPad jokes? I mean, people were just not sure about this thing.
Yeah.
And then it became very beloved and sold like hotcakes. But it was the there was the same conversation at one point of like, oh, so, you know, the iPad is like, you just like, I don't know, scroll through Flipboard on it. Or can you actually use it as a computer? And now many people are like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You just,
that's all I have.
yeah, you need the external keyboard and you're good to go. It's your laptop.
Yep.
So, and the form factor comes back into this conversation too, because it's like, I'm like, iPad mini? I guess. Seems like a really small laptop. But like you said, Eileen, I mean, maybe you're on the go. Maybe, you know, you've got a bag that it just fits perfectly. It just works for you.
Some people like to just hold it with one hand, though, you know, if they have big hands, I guess. So, you know, everybody's different. I'm glad there's something for everyone.
Probably hold it with one hand, barely.
Well, they show it in the photo. The person's whole, like, that is a huge hand. Like, what? Like,
right. Yeah.
The photo is like one hand is holding.
It's perfect.
Like,
you know, yeah, you just one-handed. And it's like that person has a huge hand.
Come to think of it, I'm like, you know, I mean, I think you can hold it with one hand, but it just looks, the proportions look a little weird on the Apple website to me. But anyway.
Well, you know, going back into content and loving content and consuming content, Eileen, I didn't finish the first season of Silo because I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. I just, too many things to watch. But we got a season 2 coming out, right?
Season 2, and there's a new trailer, and the whole, I don't know if I should say it. Well, anyway, there's a character, and the whole push for the trailer is like,
I mean, if it's a trailer, I don't think you're like spoiling anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, character is still alive, and that was a whole like question.
It was like a dun dun dun
dun dun dun, like, and basically it's leading you to believe this character is going to find out more things. You know, if you haven't watched Silo, there are people living in a bunker, basically, because as they understand it, the world at large is filled with toxins, and you will die if you just walk out.
You have to stay in the silo.
You have to stay in the silo. So there have been a few characters that have challenged that, and when they challenge, it's like, oh my God, there's this big to do, and everybody watches through the screen somebody going outside, and usually what you see is the person falling down and dying.
Oh, like they can't breathe either.
Yeah, like, you know, even though they've got like a hazmat suit or a suit, you know, on, like that person just eventually
you just cannot go outside.
Can't keep going. So the main character leaves at the end of season 1, and then the whole trailer is about still alive. Like, okay, so still alive, which means we're going to explore the outside and what's out there. So I'm excited.
I gotta get back into that. I liked the show. I probably watched, I don't know, like the first 3 eps.
Okay.
And was like, okay, I see what they're doing. This is interesting. And you know, if there's a season 2, then I gotta be caught up.
You know what I used to do when I watched the show? I would do like my physical therapy stuff, or I'd do stretches. Like, okay, I'm like, I got my bands and I'm watching on the side. I got my yoga mat. You know, Tom's sitting on the couch, and I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, look at all the stuff that's happening.
Was there something about the silo that made you want to exercise? Or
I felt stressed out.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's claustrophobic.
It's a little claustrophobic. So I just needed to move. So I feel like a half a dozen times I was doing something for at least 10 minutes of the show. I was like, okay, I'm going to get my yoga mat. This is a good time for me to just, you know, get my body like, you know, stretched out and not feel like I'm stuck in the silo with everybody freaking out. So
no, I get that. I get that.
That was the way I coped, but that was me.
There are plenty of shows where I'm like, I do not relate to this. Do not want this for myself. Yeah. Maybe a stretch. You know, that kind of like stretch / yoga stuff. I should do that more often. I mean, just, you know, just kick the coffee table to the side and
get up. Even if you just like do like side bends a little bit, like it helps, to kind of, I mean, that's what they say on the plane. If you're just like, oh, I can't do this anymore. You're on a plane for X amount of hours. You're like, just kind of move your, arms, kind of twist, get up.
That's why I always get the aisle seat.
Oh, really?
Window seat. If I thought I could sleep, that's what I would choose. But I usually can't. And then I feel like I have to get up, and now I have to have like 2 people get up in order for me to get up. So aisle seat, I just get up, I walk around. The flight attendants are always like, do you need something? And I'm like, nope.
Just walking around.
Just walking around, keeping the blood flowing. Mm-hmm. Not that I take many flights anymore, but yeah. On a long flight, it's like I need an aisle seat, or I can't deal.
Oh, interesting. I'm the opposite. I want a window because I want to look out. I just need to see, even if it's pitch black. I'm like,
well, I want that too.
I see that's
what
wing,
I greatly prefer. But I'm like, I'm gonna have to pee, and then I have to be like, hi, sorry to wake you again.
Yeah,
but I have to get up.
It's like,
I just don't want to do that.
They tell you, you should drink a lot of fluids and, to keep hydrated and stuff. And I find myself not wanting to do that because I don't want to get up and go to the bathroom.
Well, yeah, same.
I'm like, oh, I don't want, I mean, if it's a long haul flight, you can't help yourself. You have to, but if it's like a couple hours, I'm like, I'm not
if it's a
going to
couple
drink
hours,
anything.
yeah, same. But I just know that it's dehydrating in general. So I try to like pound water, or I, come on board with a kombucha, or, whatever it is. And for that reason, I'm like, I'm going to need to hit the bathroom, or I just have to, just stretch my restless legs.
Yeah.
And just get up. And I don't even, people say like, yeah, but like if you're napping, aren't you annoyed if the person on the window seat wakes you up because they have to get up? And I'm like, not really.
Okay.
Because then I just get up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I should have anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. Yeah. If there's another person that gets up, you're like, well, this is my time to get up. I might as well get up too.
Yeah. Like I'll get up, do a little stretch. Like it's good for the blood kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as we as we start to go sideways on the show, I think it's worth mentioning for anybody who is a Chick-fil-A fan, and I don't know, Eileen, if you eat a lot of Chick-fil-A, I've probably had it like once in my life. But if you've got CarPlay in your car, which many cars do these days, you can order Chick-fil-A directly through CarPlay.
Isn't that nice? Like, I don't know. I mean, it sounds pretty handy. Actually, I'm on the Chick-fil-A website, and there's this whole customer support already for Apple CarPlay, and ordering, like, just basic questions that they don't want to get, like, how are the payment methods,
right.
all this stuff. So I don't have CarPlay. So would you do this, Sarah? Like, or would you just, because usually too, like Taco Bell, like many places, they just have an app, right? And you could just order in the app and then go to the drive-through and say, hi, I'm picking up my order. Kind of to me, that has always been helpful if I just want to get my food real quickly through the drive-through. So I don't know. It's nice to have options.
It's nice to have options. That's for sure. And I mean, CarPlay is it's a delight. Not for ordering food for me personally, but I mean, CarPlay has changed my driving experience for sure. Just listen to a pod, get into the car, all of a sudden, okay, now it's coming through the car speakers. It really most of the time works really well. As far as Chick-fil-A, I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know what I would order because I don't like fried chicken. But I know I like chicken.
What?
Just not fried chicken.
Not fried chicken. Wow.
I like things like mac and cheese and collard greens if they have that. I don't even know if they do. But but yeah, the whole sort of like order on, this particular app in your car, that makes a lot of sense to me, but I'm also like, don't they just have drive-thrus? Don't we just do
So
that?
I know. I'm looking at a thread that announced this, and everybody's like, great idea, sarcastically, or let's see, innovation after decades, but again, sarcastically.
Yeah.
Thank you finally. There are some people that are like, thank you finally. I'm like, what? All right. Let's see here. What are they?
I mean, okay,
How? Why is this needed?
okay, so around where I live right now, I don't know exactly where the nearest Chick-fil-A is, but there's one pretty near. But, we've got Arby's, McDonald's, Dunkin's. I mean, everything. Everything you might want fast food-wise is around my neighborhood. All good. And if I were to, there actually is a Starbucks that's one of those Starbucks that you can't go into. It's drive-through only. Mm-hmm. And in the morning, when I happen to be driving by, it's really busy. Like, I mean, that's why the street is like backed up, is because everybody is going through the drive-through, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Okay, well, you love your drive-through. So if that were to be, something where you're like, I want Chick-fil-A, but if I go through the drive-through, I'm going to be sitting there for 30 minutes, and this will make it so much easier. All good.
Right.
But will it really?
You're still in the queue, right?
You're still in the queue. Yeah, because if everybody uses the new queue, then you're still in the queue.
Well, there's also, like, I know McDonald's does the thing where you can order and then you park and you wait and then they deliver it to your car in the parking lot, right? That's kind of handy. So you don't have to just, get your have your engine running the whole time waiting in the queue.
Right.
By the way, they do have mac and cheese. I don't see collard greens for Chick-fil-A, but there is mac and cheese there.
Okay. All right.
There's different entrees, but yeah, predominantly it is chicken, but there's wraps and grilled nuggets. Grilled nuggets. Wow.
Grilled nuggets I might be into.
Okay.
Yeah. Deep fried things not so much, but like, I mean, I'll kill some McDonald's nuggets.
Okay.
With a little mustard sauce. Yeah, we're good to go.
There's salads here too, but anyway, I just thought it was a fun kicker story. I don't have CarPlay to really know the significance of this, and I would generally probably just use the
could
app,
take one for the team and give it a shot. Otis and I have to go out later anyway. I mean, you had me at mac and cheese.
Okay, there is.
I'll eat mac and cheese.
So it's a side though, so you might want to get.
Fine.
Like
I'll just order two orders of it.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. You have to tell us how it goes.
Yeah.
Tell us how it goes.
I'll give it a try. Oh, all right,
desserts.
everybody. Well, listen, if you've been listening to us saying, Sarah, you're crazy, you don't like fried chicken, you wouldn't be the first person to say that, but everybody's different. But if you have feedback on anything that we talk about or might talk about on a future show, send it our way. We'd love to know what you're thinking. What's on your mind? Feedback at applevisionshow.com. Also, Eileen, we are on Instagram and TikTok. Where can they find us there?
They could also find us on Apple Vision Show on both Instagram and TikTok. We're there.
We are there. We're there. We're everywhere. Get used to us. So thanks, everybody, for listening. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. And thanks, those of you who are watching, also on the live version of the show, because we do it live. We do it live. Episode 37 in the can. We will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I can see why you don't like Chick-fil-A. I mean, I don't really go there, but I do appreciate a good fried chicken sandwich. But that's mostly what they have.
I liked baked chicken.
Almost all of their fried chicken sandwiches also come as grilled chicken sandwiches.
Okay, so you
it
get
is
that
a
new
chicken
honey,
sandwich store.
Pepper, pimento. Oh, okay.
I just had one of those, the honey pimento whatever. I got it grilled because I don't like necessarily fried chicken sandwiches either. Chick-fil-A is the bomb. I don't like their what they back politically, but I love their food.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll have to give it a try. In fact, I think there was a
Get the grilled club. It's amazing.
The grilled club.
Yeah.
I will.
That's my normal sandwich there.
That actually sounds really good. Because I haven't eaten meat in a few days.
And they
I'm
have seasonal
it might be
shakes.
time for meat. Yeah.
They have seasonal milkshakes. Like they just had they had banana pudding last 2 weeks ago or whatever when I was there. It was good.
Okay.
Every summer they come out with a peach. It's actually got like little pieces of peach in it. It's delicious.
Oh.
Wow.
I like the idea of like actual fruit in the thing, with like a big
Yep.
straw. I don't really like milkshakes though. I don't know. I know. I'm a buzzkill as far as these things go. I like my stuff the way I like it. For example, what did I eat last night? Zucchini and pasta. That's it.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. Worked out.
Yeah.
I have chicken in the fridge and I'm like, I just don't want it. I just don't want chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. People say, oh, you need protein. And I'm like, I don't want it. I just want vegetables and pasta.
Vegetables and pasta. Hey.
Yeah.
That's still, there's something there. You could put an
Yeah.
egg somewhere if you want. I don't know.
Actually, I did. I put an egg into the.
Oh, you
into
did?
the pasta.
There's your protein. There you go.
Yeah. See, I'm fine. But yeah, no. The chicken. What did you say, Amos? Grilled chicken sandy.
The grilled chicken club.
Grilled chicken club doesn't have bacon.
The club does not. The club deluxe does.
Okay.
Oh,
So I'll go not deluxe.
Right.
Okay, that sounds fun. This
it's
is
only
actually-
390 calories too, Sarah.
What? I doubt that's true.
This is on their website. I'm looking at the grilled chicken
that
sandwich
okay.
without the bacon.
So that's another thing about the whole trend where not every establishment does this, but you get a lot where it's like, here are how many calories you're going to consume when you buy the mango smoothie type thing.
Right.
And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I don't think you're being honest. I think you're doing it so that I trust you more, but I don't think you're trustworthy. Like, there's no way a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A is 390 calories. It's more like 690 calories.
I think because it's grilled. So the
maybe.
when you add the bacon, it says 520. So
Yeah.
but let's see. Spicy chicken sandwich is 450. Okay. That one has nothing on it, just the chicken. So
It's not even that I'm calorie counting necessarily. I just feel like
they're
it's
lying.
like you can just say whatever you want. And then we think that you're being like a very responsible business.
Yeah. How many of us have test kits at home to actually burn the calories ourselves and find out how many real calories are in the food we're trying to eat? It's
Have you
just a
tried
number
to
we have to
figure that
trust.
out?
I mean, I've seen the process. It's not fun.
Okay.
It's not something I'm willing to try on my
Yeah,
own.
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna go with the guidance and just know it's a plus or minus kind of thing, right? Like, yeah,
When
all right, it's around
was-
that much.
I don't really do it anymore with my Apple Watch, but when I was using my Fitbit, the Versa 2, this was like the first days of COVID, so I had nothing to do. And so I was like very into just like, okay, I ate half an avocado. That is 300 calories. Like, I was doing the whole thing. Like every day I was like, I know exactly what I'm taking in, give or take a calorie or two. And then I know what I'm burning for exercise. And it was like fun, but also a little manic. So now I'm like, you know what? If I want the chicken sandwich, I'm just going to eat the chicken sandwich. And yeah, if I have too many of them and I think that I'm going down a unhealthy path, that's a conversation I can have with myself.
Yourself, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, like the daily kind of the getting too into, I feel the same way about taking steps. Like there was a time where if I didn't get 10,000 steps in a day, I was like, well, I have to do it like before midnight. Oh my gosh, And now I'm like, no, I got to 9,500.
That's
Yeah,
close
like
enough. Yeah.
yeah, like let's not, let's not get crazy here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up for 300 calories. It's all good.
Right.
So-
Right.
So when you get your Chick-fil-A later, go ahead and get a small pack of those grilled chicken nuggets.
With the chicken
Well,
sandwich.
yeah, just to taste.
Well, you
one,
know
and
what's
then
going to
you
happen is I'm going to eat all of it, and I'm going to be like,
but
"Hey,
you can
man,
share with Odie.
It's only 130 calories for the grilled nuggets.
I'm not sharing them with Odie.
And then
He gets a pup cup once a month. That's it.
I would be remiss not to tell you to try the Chick-fil-A sauce because everybody loves the Chick-fil-A sauce. I'm not a big fan of Chick-fil-A sauce. I like the Polynesian sauce or the sriracha sauce.
What is?
There's
the
so many
Chick-fil-A
sauces.
sauce? So okay. So I would say once a year, I'll go through McDonald's drive-through. Because I just want a 12-piece McNuggets. And they always say, what kind of sauce do you want? And I'm like, all of them. And 2 of each.
Oh, and you get all. Oh, I've never even.
And they're
thought
like,
about
okay.
saying all of them.
They don't care.
They don't care, yeah.
No. They're like, here, fine, have it. And so then I'm like, ooh, every single bite is different.
Wow.
But
Well,
there are ones I like more than others.
Yeah.
So maybe Chick-fil-A has the same situation.
Well, there's like a ton of different sauces. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm on the website and I'm like, first of all, you have your standard in the like square, where you pull up the aluminum. Anyway, then you
Yeah.
have the packets. Though the packets are a little bit more fancy, like avocado lime ranch, creamy salsa, light balsamic vinaigrette, zesty apple cider vinaigrette, right? You get like these fancy ones, whereas the other ones are Chick-fil-A sauce, barbecue, honey mustard.
I mean,
Well, they do have zesty buffalo.
to be
Either
honest,
way.
if it was only honey mustard, I'd be like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's what I usually get. I'm a honey mustard.
I love a
person,
honey
too.
mustard. Yeah.
That's like I don't like the barbecue so much, even
I
though
don't
I
like
like
the
barbecue
barbecue sauce
sauce
very much.
But the
Yeah.
barbecue sauce is wherever I go in these
Well-
fast food. It's like not great.
They tend to be on the sweet side. That's the problem that I have with not all barbecue sauce. Like Japanese barbecue sauce, I mean, that's all that's in my fridge. But like barbecue sauce that's kind of traditional tends to be ketchup-y to me.
Yeah,
And
but not
I
as
just
good as
don't-
ketchup.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm like, it's sweet, but I don't understand. I want like savory, umami, or something that's like sweet on purpose, which would be the honey mustard.
Yeah.
I go with the sweet and sour, and if they have a spicy sweet and sour, I'll go with that. So like Popeyes has the sweet heat. Chick-fil-A has a sweet sriracha. Yeah. I go with sweet and sour, and then a spicy version of it if it's available.
I would try the sweet and spicy sriracha. Just to
pretty
try
good.
it, but I bet I won't like it as much as honey mustard. You know what I mean? Oh, but it has
Probably.
45 calories compared to honey mustard that has 50, according to this website.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah.
Ooh, the
Something to
Chick-fil-A
consider.
Chick-fil-A sauce has 140 calories per container.
What's in there?
I don't know, but apparently it's
Magic, according to people that like it.
okay.
It's probably oil based or butter based or something.
Yeah, soybean oil. I can see it here. Soybean oil, sugar, barbecue sauce, tomato paste, corn syrup, vinegar, natural
It's
hickory smoke flavor, caramel, garlic, onion, whatever.
Caramel?
Blah blah blah.
Oh.
it's like a sweeter version of cane sauce. Raising
And
canes.
there's paprika.
Yeah. Not a fan of cane sauce either. So
I don't
Well,
know.
I
that
like
I've had it.
paprika very much.
In bold, it says contains eggs. Just so you know.
Oh, well, that's
yeah.
more calorie stuff. There's a very popular chicken place near me, just down the street, called Gus's Fried Chicken. And
Oh, I know Gus's. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, there are a few of them.
Yeah.
But there's one near me, and people love that place. And I got it delivery once with a friend who was just like, fried chicken, doesn't that sound so good? And I'm like, no.
No.
But like you can get it, and then I'll get all the sides because they've got all the sides. You got collard greens, you got mac and cheese, you got coleslaw. Perfect. Love it. Baked beans, everything, and the two of us were just like, this is the best. And then at the end of it, he's like, you didn't even have a piece of chicken. And I'm like, didn't want it. Didn't want it. I just wanted the sides.
The sides are pretty good there. Yeah, they really are. And that's a meal in itself.
I've recently come to the conclusion that I'm a coleslaw snob.
Yeah,
Like my
I am
coleslaw has
kind
to be
of too.
certain, yeah.
Coleslaw can
be too
be
watery.
pretty
Can't be
terrible.
It can't be too sweet. Can't be too sour. Can't be. It's got to be crunchy. I can't have old
Soggy
cabbage.
coleslaw is
Yeah,
not
no,
good.
it's
No, I don't
it's
like
Well,
gotta have
and
a
you
crunch
and
to
you
it.
get the people who are just like, I hate it. Like I hate coleslaw, and I'm like,
Right.
have you had like really good coleslaw though? And they're like, there isn't such thing, and I'm like, there is.
There is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really
I
good.
love- I love
like
coleslaw.
nice fresh cabbage. Yum. It's delicious.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yep. Yeah, we went to a place called Cooper's in Tacoma the last night that I was in Washington this last trip, and great wings. The wings were amazing. All the food we got was amazing. Even the fries, and I'm not all that big on like steak fries kind of thing. But then the coleslaw
You guys
came,
are making me want.
and I was it was like watery. It was crisp. It's really crisp, but it was watery. There was no the sauce didn't have any substance to it, and it didn't have any flavor. So it was basically just wet freshly cut cabbage. And I was like, this is not it.
That sucks. I now am hungry for coleslaw and fried chicken, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'll take one for the team.
All right.
And report back.
Please, everybody,
on the
remind
grilled
us to
chicken
ask.
Sandy. I have to take Odie out anyway, so no,
Okay.
this will be fun. And I'm also like very hungry. Because of our conversation, I'm like, my stomach's rumbling. I'm thinking
Same.
yeah,
Same.
I'm like, that's probably because I didn't eat any chicken yesterday. So now I'm like, I need some protein,
Yeah.
big time.
The egg was not enough. All right.
The egg was not enough. All right,
Let's get out of
everybody.
here. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.